Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing on this President's Day? At least here in the U.S., it's President's Day here. So, yeah, it's a federal holiday, been a 3-day weekend for everybody here, more or less. And it mostly affects federal workers or government workers. So, but anyway, so I hope that those of you who have had the 3-day weekend have been able to take advantage of it and are getting a lot of R&R. And those of you who have to work today, I hope it's not too chaotic for you. So, yeah. But anyway, I wanted to continue my discussion that I started yesterday about my own personal journey and the updates for that. I know, unfortunately, with a lot of the social media platforms, they kind of limit you on how long your videos can be. So that's why I had to cut it off short yesterday. So my journey has been really, really great. For those of you who don't know, I do deal with some health issues. I was born a hypoglycemic. And then 10 years ago, I contracted the norovirus, which left me with permanent nerve damage in my bowel, and which in turn also gives me some liver issues. And then 6 years ago, I was badly injured in a car accident. So that has left me with some issues with the back and neck injury. So yeah, a little bit there I have to deal with. But the biggest issues that I deal with are my gut issues. So that's been my main leg of my journey with here basically for the last 10 years, trying to get that under control and live some sort of semblance of a normal life, because it can be very taxing and cause a lot of anxieties and so forth. So I work on the anxiety issues every morning. Most mornings, 6 mornings a week anyway, with doing my morning ritual, with the yoga, getting grounded, and doing these walks and videos. These actually do help. I learn a lot about myself. So, yeah, it's been really, really great. As far as the actual more physical side, I have done a lot of trial and errors with my diet and so forth. And I have found certain things here in the last 6 months or so that have really been helping. For one thing, I have basically eliminated gluten, dairy, eggs, soy, brown rice, quinoa, and psyllium husk from my diet. Doesn't sound like much, but at the same point it is when you actually start thinking about it, because just about every single food out there, prepackaged, prepared, like in restaurants and so forth, has one of those ingredients. So yeah, even a lot of like a keto recipes, they'll substitute yeast for a psyllium husk. So not a very good situation there. So anyway, in place, I have started, of course, doing more of my own cooking and baking. Fortunately, I'm already an old pro at that, so it's not that big of a deal. It's just a matter of switching over and tweaking things. So I found that using sprouted rolled oats in place of flour has been helping quite a lot. I buy a bag of that, and it's about $10 for that, and I grind it up in my coffee grinder. And that's one thing I wanted to mention yesterday. When I mentioned that it's only $13, I was talking about the coffee grinder, just to clarify. So yeah, they're about $13, maybe $15, something like that. For the cheaper ones, that's all you really need. You don't need anything really fancy or anything. You're just grinding oats, or maybe lentils or chickpeas or something, so not that big of a deal. So yeah, and speaking of chickpeas, as far as my egg is concerned, I use in my baking 1 egg equals 2 spoons of chickpea flour and 2 tablespoons of water. Combine them together, or whisk them together, let it sit, put it in the refrigerator even for maybe somewhere between 5 and 15 minutes. It'll be a little bit lumpy when you first try and whisk it together. So yeah, just keep doing, put it in the fridge, keep whisking it and everything, and it'll be nice and creamy after about 15 minutes tops. Maybe. So anyway, yeah, you can use that and substitute for, I like to use that because it also provides protein. So also, no more butter. I don't use margarine. I mean, that's basically not food anyway. So I've been using vegan butter and substitute either that or olive oil, depending on what I'm making. But usually with my baking, I like having something that's a little bit more solid for, for the starter. So yeah, I've been using vegan butter. And let's see here. What else? Oh, fermenting ginger. Gosh, how could I forget that topic? Good source of probiotic. That's the main reason why I'm doing it. Also, it helps, with clearing out a lot of, the gas and bloat that can wind up happening. Also, I brew, I guess you could say brew, make my own tea with ginger and turmeric roots, grating them up together, putting them in a tea ball and letting them seep, for about 10 minutes. I like to chase my ginger ale with that as well. So, yeah. And of course, I use oat milk, one in particular. It only has 4 ingredients, none of the gums and so forth that you typically find. So, yeah, making those little bitty changes has improved my health dramatically. And I've lost weight too in the process, which is really fantastic because I do need to keep the weight off of me because it helps keep the liver cleared out. So anyway, I see I'm coming up on 7 minutes again. So anyway, tomorrow we'll start our topic for the week. Love you all. Talk to you soon.